Hey guys, welcome back to our second episode of the Arms Against Tyranny playthrough playing as right. Last episode we took over Poland within 6 months. That was absolutely crazy. Now we're gonna take year upon year to expand and make sure we have the necessary equipment and all that sort of thing to go to war with the allies and actually win. Now, this means that we're going to need thousands of trucks, thousands of tanks. Now keep in mind guys, my secondary monitor is not working, so I have the program running in my background. You should be able to see my cam still, but even so, just be aware that I won't be able to shut off the recording as quick as I used to be able to, but I will probably edit those out just so that you're aware, so that you guys don't notice the difference, but I do want to throw that out there. Anyway, it's gonna take thousands of equipment to get where we need to be. We already have over 1,000 tanks, which is great. We almost have over 3,000 trucks, which is fantastic. But we're still short on artillery and technically airplanes, I guess. If you could say that, I'm not exactly sure if that's the case because we haven't unpaused yet. But I'll tell you guys that we need to put one of these factories on trains so that when we build depots, we have some trains to run those supply depots. I'm gonna put them just underneath the artillery. And then I'm probably going to make sure that we have more factories making guns because that's going to be a crucial point of interest there when we start making mass production units and stuff. So now I'm going to start to work on the industry, which you can already see that I've actually began to already do that. I forgot that I started to do that in the last episode. That being said, let's get the radio here. And I think I'm going to go down the army tree for a bit. Alright, now who else do we have to put in office here? You have to put all three of them in there, I guess. Okay then, do we have enough political power? Oh gosh, yes. 414 political power. Alright, we'll be totally fine. By the time we get all three of these, we'll be down to about 200, but that's alright. And we got plenty of XP in either way as well, so that's actually fantastic. I do want to fill this out though. Division attack and defense. Division max range. Okay. Division attrition. No, we don't want that. Is there one thing that increases organization? Because that would be fantastic. I go with 15% attack on that. We're not going to be doing AA. So I'm going to say let's get this sub guy in here for the naval part of things, and then we'll do the air thing as soon as we get more political power. We almost burned through all our gas when we did that, just from the aerial vehicles and everything. That's kind of crazy that we did that within 6 months though. That was quick. That was really quick. I don't know what deal is with that guy. I'm not gonna worry about him, but I'm gonna push the, you know what? No, we're just gonna wait until these construction factories are done. And then after that, we need to start producing our own rubber. So after the damaged vehicles, not damaged vehicles, but buildings, we're gonna build the refineries, the rubber refineries, so we can have quite the large surplus in here. With the advent of Poland, that's definitely gonna be helpful. If I put a refinery, at least one, in every province of the main Germany, we should be producing rubber like crazy, and we won't have to trade ever again. I have a couple concerns that if we do every region in the main Germany, we're not going to be able to build anywhere else unless we put infrastructure in, okay? Which I think what we should do is just make it easier on ourselves and just max out the infrastructure everywhere. Yes, it's gonna take time. Yes, it's gonna be probably a couple years before we finish everything, but overall I think it will be a fantastic move. That way we have more build slots everywhere until we actually do run out. Not to mention coal as well for that reason, because that's part of of the game now, which is kind of cool. But again, like I said in previous videos, it's cool, but it's not cool at the same time. And we're gonna really industrialize the crap of the Polish Reich here, which reminds me, I'm gonna want to get the garrison people going so that they can keep order and stuff. I'm also gonna want to get some motorized infantry being recruited because we're gonna have plenty of that. We got plenty of trucks, so there's no reason why we shouldn't do that. Awesome, I believe that is the entire Reich. So that is going to take a while, but it's going to be well worth it. And then I think what I'll do is when I get the infrastructure done building, I'll put some fuel silos in so that we can store a bunch of fuel so we don't come close to running out like we did last time. Oh yes, and before I forget, yeah, I forgot completely about that. I should have done the garrison like before I paused it, but that's alright, we should be okay. Or did I already do that? No, I didn't. So yeah, let's move you guys all throughout the Reich, at least the Polish part of it, and you guys should be able to keep the repression down a little bit and shift the hearts and minds of these people where they need to be. There we go. Now all of should be garrisons. And so what I'm gonna do now is issue these medals out here, and we're gonna focus on organization. Organization is big time in this game. So if you can get, organization, well, then you can fight for a while. Obviously, using less supplies would be awesome too, but I mean, to me, organization is more important. If you guys disagree, let me know in the comments, because I do listen to you guys' feedback. Like one of you in the last video said to me, if you take over France and beat the Allies, you should puppet France. Well, I don't usually do that, but it's definitely worth considering. And I do see your point, it would be definitely something that I would want to consider. For sure. Now we got a national focus, so I'm gonna go down here, get the Prussian legacy here, and let's decide what we're gonna do here. This is tank designer, I believe. Breakthrough would be nice. Yeah, I mean, armor would be great too. I almost can't decide, but we have a couple of things that we can decide on what to do. Reliability would be fantastic, actually. So let's go with that, and then what we'll do is we'll go with speed next time, I think. I think that's what we'll do, is next time we'll go for speed. And in the meantime, I'm going to start to pull some motorized divisions off, I think, to be perfectly honest, because we got 3,000. Well, I mean, won't do that, but I think we'll do 2 more or less than that, so that they can always keep up with it. But I'm going to have these guys recruiting for almost on a constant basis for a little bit, so we can get the manpower and the free territory that the Reich needs and whatnot else. I do want to look at the division organization though for a while to see if we need to increase it or something like that. No, they're already at 46 organizations, so I'm gonna put some motorized artillery in here and then probably switch this around to a maintenance company. And then did I get the field hospital? I don't think I did yet. So anyways, I'll add the 2 artillery brigades here, and then that'll bring us down to 42 organization, which is still fantastic, to be perfectly honest. Good organization is 30, so 42 is just phenomenal. Okay, now I'm gonna unpause the game here, and we'll get started. And we'll just wait until those motorized companies come off, divisions come off, whatever. That's crazy. We're actually in a hole of 300 support equipment, and that's probably because we added those companies to the motorized divisions, but those divisions, those companies definitely help. And we're gonna get some rubber processing in about 7 days here, so in a week that'll be done. I'm really excited to what we get up to in this playthrough, because I really feel like if we design our divisions and our weapons correctly, we can really wreck the allies and give them a bad day. And on that day, I am looking forward to that day. It just excites me to no end because I've always wanted to do it. I've never been able to do it. And if I can share that moment with you guys, that's gonna be fantastic. Gonna be game changing. So, I mean, I've had some bad series, but I have a really good feeling about this one. I really do. This is gonna be a fantastic series. I have a really good feeling. We'll get oil processing the next year, then we'll get our national focus, which we probably want to go with the Great War. Actually, let's go with this all-terrain military motorcycle thing, because it will give us one military factory and one build slot. And right now we can take the military factories, any military factories we can get right now. And I don't have any in the build queue necessarily because I want to get through the queue somewhat before I add more to it. But after we get the infrastructure done, we are going to definitely put some military factories in. And when I say definitely, I mean definitely putting some military factories in, no doubt. It's kind of going to be Spam City, if you will. So the Reich is going to have a lot of military factories, especially within Poland itself. Alright, now let's get the game running again. I keep forgetting that I pause that every time I get national focus in technology, because it's just easier to play the game like that if you're not playing multiplayer. But please try and remind me if I ever do this live stream to unpause the game, because this is just, it's getting to be an unhealthy habit here. Even I recognize that. Ooh, we got another upgrade here for something. Yeah, let's pause here. This is the artillery builder, I guess. Something along those lines. 3 defense versus what? 10 breakthrough? Yeah, actually this is the artillery designer. So let's get 10 breakthrough on that. On the total artillery, that'd be fantastic. And then this is the vehicle designer, I think. Equipment, automotive manufacturer. That's what this is. Okay, so what do we got going on here? We can get 5% production cost, but the reliability would go down 7. Or we can get reliability and the resources needed would go up by. Honestly, I would rather take the reliability, but what else we got here? We can also add breakthrough to the mechanized and motorized artillery, rocket artillery, which the odds of us getting rockets is not very likely, at least not until late game. So let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna try and choose something else since I know that we're not gonna get rockets until later. I understand the production costs. Armor 5 for motorized. For mechanized. Okay. Or we can add 9% to rocket artillery. Breakthrough. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the reliability, guys. Cause like, even though it makes the building of these things more expensive, I just don't want to take a hit in reliability. I want these guys to have the best equipment possible, honestly. So, I think that was the right move. If you disagree, feel free to debate it with me in the comments. I always try to encourage you guys to leave comments because I do enjoy engaging with you guys. I do enjoy talking with you guys in the comments. So, that is something I look forward to, honestly. Yeah, sometimes I gotta deal with the butt head, so to speak, but I do enjoy having conversations in the comments with you guys. It's rather fun. So, if you have any idea on what route we should go in regards to the companies, just put it down in the comments. I'm sure some of you have had this DLC a lot longer than I have. I've only had it for a few days now. So feel free to suggest things and whatnot. And let's get the game rolling here. And we have 600 trucks again. So yeah, we're really cranking these trucks out. It's August 37. Alright, well when it becomes 38, guys, I'm gonna try to research tank so we can get that started and going. And we're still short 245 fighters, but we just did come off of a war, to be perfectly honest. But we do need to increase the production of those, but we can't exactly do that until we get some rubber in here. Which, how many refineries are we building again? I think we're putting them throughout the Reich, I think. Let me see. I'm trying to refresh my memory here. No, we are not putting them throughout the Reich because we were waiting on the infrastructure to be done, if I recall. Which, if we do this now, it wouldn't matter because I'm putting these ones on the bottom of the queue. And so, by the time they get to these ones, the infrastructure is going to be in place because I'm putting all these after the infrastructure. But I'm going to make sure, guys, that we have plenty of rubber coming through the German Reich. Like, I'm not playing games with this. And it also rapidly increases our fuel production as well, so that's kind of why I'm doing this as well, because the synthetic refineries also increase your fuel production and your rubber surplus. Okay, now we basically have these throughout the Reich, which is absolutely fantastic, because now there's no way in heck we're gonna have some kind of rubber shortage. We would be hard pressed to have some kind of rubber shortage, no doubt. And let's get the tank here, guys. I think that's the next thing we should work on. And then I'll also work on fuel refinery as well. I don't want to we start on that tank, or maybe we want to go fuel refinery because now you know what, we should get some pieces parts here for the tanks and stuff so we can do a better armor and whatnot. But I think we should have the do that kind of stuff. There we go. We're about to get construction 2, and once we do that, I think I'll get fuel refinery or excavation 2. Honestly, I think we should get excavation 2, and then once the next technology after that is done, then we will get fuel refinery. But if I'm being brutally honest, if we build that many refineries, guys, I really think what's gonna happen is we're gonna be producing so much gas that it's not gonna even make a dent, at least if we are only using one fuel source. And what I mean by that is, like, if we're not using our Navy, we're just using the tanks and trucks, I think we're gonna be producing fuel at such a rate that it's not gonna matter any. I want to increase our production of support equipment, guys, because we really used a lot there. So I think this factory needs to go on that so that they can increase their production of that. We're doing fine on trucks. Honestly, it's support equipment that I'm a little worried about. 7 pieces of artillery per day. That's absolutely fantastic. It doesn't get much better than that, I don't think. Well, it does, but as of the current state, I don't think it's gonna get any much better than that. We got 1,200 tanks of the light kind, so we got a decent tanks here as well. We're doing 110 rifles per day. That's awesome, actually. That's really awesome, to be fair. Excavation 2, yeah, let's go ahead and get that real quick. And like I said, guys, we're just at this point just trying to prepare for a war. That's all we're doing. We're gonna sit here and prepare for war, kind of stay dormant for a little bit is what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna rise from the ashes, so to speak. And we got some kind of upgrade for whatever company this was. This is the support equipment. Okay, alright, -10, but reliability takes the tank. Oh, alright, and this one's kind of a double-edged sword here, no doubt. I didn't know what to do there, so I took that one because I was like, I don't like either one of those. I really didn't like either one of those. Just terrible, really. Get a drink here. Okay, we got a national focus and a company upgrade. So let's go ahead and go for our next national focus. Army experience, initiative. Yeah, that's nice. That initiative's nice. Let's go ahead and get that. This is the tank designer. Okay. We can add more soft attack plus speed, or we can add 5% armor, 5% breakthrough, or we can decrease the speed by 10% and increase the soft attack by 15. Yeah, 15. I almost want to get this, honestly, because speed would be great. You can't go wrong with either one of those, but still, it just would be great to have the speed, I think. I'm going to make sure our divisions have really good organization so that it takes a while for them to like fall back, if that makes sense, and also make sure that everything else is really high while still maintaining reliability. And I think that's going to be the key to our success, because I'm building things a lot different than I built them in previous series. That's why I have a really good feeling about this one, guys. I really do have a really good feeling about this one. Kingdom of Greece. Kingdom of Greece gets Germans. Okay. Small investment into the kingdom. Okay. Hold on. That's gonna make our. You know what? Let's go with that, actually, because I don't want the goods to go up, because that's gonna slow down our construction a little bit. It probably wouldn't have meant that much, but I just don't like. To me, that does not sound like a good time. We're starting to work on the refinery, so that is good, because by the time we get all of these put in place, you know, we're gonna be rich of rubber. Fantastic. I don't think saying rich as heck would be an understatement. I would not doubt it if we end up with hundreds of rubber. Would not doubt it in the slightest. But I'm not playing with this rubber thing, guys, because we're gonna need it for everything. Everything from freaking planes to trucks. And I'm not playing with this, because I know if we want to beat the Allies, we gotta do just that. Produce a lot of tanks, produce a lot of trucks, and produce a lot of Air Force. So that's the plan. That's what we're gonna be doing for a couple of years. Keep forgetting to unpause the game here when I get that stuff done, but I don't want the game to run away from me. That's the thing that sucks. But on the other hand, we're not getting as much done because I'm forgetting to unpause the stupid game. That's why I turned on day-night cycle, so I could tell, but it doesn't help much. We're doing 5 support equipment per day. Holy crap. For support equipment, that ain't bad. Then we're doing 111 rifles per day, almost 112 rifles per day. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. But I've had it as high as over 200 per day. But still, can you imagine just hundreds of rifles coming out each month? I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, multiply that by 30 days, I'm pretty sure, honestly, that's 30,000 rifles. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is, to be perfectly honest. We're gonna give this guy a different commander here, give him this guy, and then what we'll do is we'll get a field marshal for him to be under, and then when we fill the dude out, we'll just add another army to that field marshal. But I'll tell you what, that mechanized stuff is gonna be a pain in the rear. And the reason why it's gonna be a pain in the rear is by the time we get to mechanized infantry, we're gonna have thousands of trucks in the field. So to switch them over is going to be just absolutely a pain in the rear. Like, I'm being brutally honest with you, it really is going to be a pain in the rear to replace all the motorized infantry with mechanized infantry. Might actually end up having to slowly do it, but even so, it's gonna be a pain enough to replace thousands of trucks. Recognize the Wehrmacht. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that real quick. Now remember to unpause the game, please. Well, we do have a research that needs to be done, but I can do that real quick. Not too worried about that. Let's get basic fortifications. Okay, we got some armor plating, and I'm gonna go with level 2 armor plating as well. Same guy, the same company is gonna work on that for us. Okay, we have a company research thing going on here. I'm gonna decrease fuel usage of our navy because that would just be fantastic. Let's see here. What are we researching right now? I'll take a look. Okay. You know what though? I'm gonna decrease the amount of divisions that we're putting out each time because I think I overdid it is what it is. Maybe I'll decrease that by like, well, we got 6 divisions coming out now. I think that's a bit much even so. So let's decrease that a couple more times. Yeah, I know. Don't really care right now. I accidentally sent these guys off early while I was trying to decrease the amount of divisions being recruited, but okay, I guess it is what it is. I'm not too concerned about it. Organization would be fantastic. We'll get that, and then how are we gonna do this in the factory? We'll put more on support equipment, I think. And we got some Mauser upgrades. That right there, my friends, is fantastic. +3 soft attack, +3 defense, or we can go with the division breakthrough for infantry equipment, or we can go with 2% breakthrough versus what? You know what? I almost want to go with this because it's soft attack and breakthrough, and then go down the anti-tank aspect. Alright, and then let's choose the next technology. Let's get this conversion speed. So we're building about 2 things off this list all at one time. But honestly, we probably need to build more civilian factories so we can build faster. What can we do here? Battlefield support. So the guy garrisoning right now can actually hold 30 divisions on standard mode and 90 in garrison mode. So I probably should give him some more divisions as well. I mean, I wasn't gonna use him for combat, but I mean, he can hold 30 divisions if we take him off garrison mode. So he's a decent commander. I might give him some motorized infantry here on top of what he has for regular infantry. Alright, we already got 2 rubber come in, so that is good. We're really doing 3 at a time, but the third one only has 5 factories, so it's not being built very fast. Okay, got senior officers being bribed. Now for the one I've been waiting for. And that one gives us more organization, so let's go ahead and get that. I believe it was this one. Yes, 10% army experience gain and organization gain. And then the political power, command power, multiplier +10. So yes, we're definitely going down that route because we can have more organization. That would be awesome. How are we doing on trucks? We're still short 200 trucks and we're doing 9 per day. That's absolute insanity. And the thing is, it's been day after day and it's not even going up. I don't know if I'd trust that. Let's cancel that for right now because I think it's some kind of glitch that the game is having here. So I'm gonna start recruiting actually, did I edit the Panzer divisions yet? At least in regards to, no, I did not. Alright, so I'm gonna put some motorized infantry to get the organization to go up. Yeah, right now the Panzer divisions have absolutely terrible, what do you call it? Absolutely terrible organization. So I really need to honestly probably put field hostile or something in there for them. I don't have the field hostile. I keep forgetting that. Alright, well, we'll worry about the Panzer divisions later, I guess. And so now it's February 38. What are we doing for technology again? Because I want to get that tank rolling as fast as possible. Probably do that in about 8 days or so. Okay, now we have something else. I think that might be the tank builder thing, I think. Yes, the tank builder. What did we get last time? +5 soft attack, +5 reliability, or production resource penalty -15%. That's if we don't have the resources. Okay, so I think what I'm actually gonna do is go with the soft attack and reliability. I'm gonna make sure that these tanks are very reliable while still maintaining very, very fast for being a tank. We got that research, so now I'm gonna research the tank itself, I think, and then we'll do the engine for it, and we're gonna have the same guy do it so that he gets a better upgrade and things. But we'll have the Porsche develop the heavy tank force. About 8 o'clock, I'm gonna end the episode here, get to editing, so you guys can have this out by tomorrow at some point. Okay, we got our boost to organization because of the national focus, but I'll be right with you guys in a minute. Let me unpause the game here, get our national focus done, and draw turn minus 15%. I should really take a look at that real quick. We haven't really done that or anything. So let me actually take a peek at that really quick. Assault infantry, I like that idea. And then fire concentration. Yeah, organization, I like that. Because I know how important organization is. We're gonna go with soft attack and breakthrough for that, and then we're gonna go, let's see, breakthrough for the army, mission type tactics, plus 15% organization to motorized and mechanized infantry. I think it's infantry period. So yeah, that's gonna be huge. That's gonna be very huge. We got the doctrines hammered out now. That is massively huge in all honesty. Alright, excavation 2. And I shouldn't have canceled that trade with Denmark. I wasn't really paying attention when I did that, to be perfectly honest. I really wasn't. Let's get the computer. That is fantastic. That organization boost is gonna be absolutely massive. Commentary, in fact. What page is this? Under, I believe, rocketry. Yeah, but that doesn't come out. Yeah, it's 3 years ahead. Okay, so let's not do that just yet. I'm gonna have that guy work on that. That's crazy though. We have 8 rubber by ourselves at this point. I think at this point we could probably cancel the trade and be fine. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna cancel the trade. We're gonna lose rubber. However, we should be fine with what we have. And like I said, we're now flat 0, which is perfectly okay, because once the next one is built, it's gonna give it a plus. And there's a lot more of these coming for sure. So that's very, very, very good. And we're doing 117 rifles per day. That's insanity. This is just great. I think what we're actually doing is making Germany great again. I mean, you know, I'm making fun of Donald Early's statement back in 2020, but, 2016, I should say, but I really think that's exactly what we're doing. We're making Germany great again. I think the Allies are gonna have a beast breathing down their neck by the time we're ready to go. And we got the anti-Comintern back, and we still can't get Austria. That's unfortunate, but we can keep ourselves busy with something else. I think what I'll do is I'll get this extra construction factory thing, which we should have gotten a long time ago, but I completely forgot about that. Let's see what this Panzer Division is looking like with the organization boost applied to it. We still got a 20 organization, which is absolutely terrible, but we can now add more trucks, which would bring the organization up, and so that would be beneficial. Repression is plus 18, organization is 34, so that's beyond what we need actually, to be honest. So we should be able to put at least 1 tank in here. Yeah, that's all the XP we actually have. We can't do nothing with the rest that we have, so we've done what we could there. Now let me get the game started here again, guys. I do want to take a look at the motorized divisions though and see how that affected the organization level on that. And so that's all the way up to 53 organization level. If we wanted to, we could add another brigade of artillery and be perfectly fine. That is insanity. I think that's what we're gonna do for these things, honestly. I think eventually that's what we're going to do, because they'll have more punching power at that point. If you guys have another plan at the end of this episode, then let me know in the comments, because I probably won't institute another artillery brigade until later after this episode, because of some reasons. We definitely need to get the anti-tank tech as well, so I think what I might do is actually stick an anti-tank in there, so we can give these divisions a little more kick. What else need on here? We have all of the staff integrated, most of it anyway. Division recovery rate, that will definitely be nice. Now we got thousands of support equipment, so yeah, we'll definitely be fine before something. Okay, now we're gonna get another focus here. Well, not focus, but we're gonna get a new line of submarines put in place, and we're gonna make this guy do that for us. Okay, we're producing 6 rubber by ourselves. That's great. And there's a lot more to come. A lot more to come. How are we doing on recruitment? I'm thinking what we should do is get a couple more truck divisions, but I don't want to overdo it. We'll probably stop at maybe 4 divisions, maybe 5 at a time. Yeah, I think 5 will be fine. Let me take a look at our surplus at 5 and see what we're doing here. Production, 5 divisions. Yeah, we still have 2,700 trucks. Okay, almost 2,800 trucks. So 3 divisions should not be a problem to keep up with each time. I'm just trying to get enough military in the field to grab Austria for the Reich without war, and grab Czechoslovakia and all that. So we have more land to operate off of and more factories, and we can prepare for this war with the Allies. That's what these coming years are going to be all about. Preparation. I'm also going to build some supply depots. I'll put them in like the queue right now because it's gonna be a while before we actually invade France. But I do want some depots on the border of France as well, so I think I'm gonna do that. Just stick one here, 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 and here, and here, and here. So there's gonna be 5 depots that are going to be built on that border, okay? And come to think about it, to be perfectly honest, I'm sure you guys would agree with me on this, but we probably should push those to the front because they do take a while to build. They really do. And I would like to, instead of trying to rush them to be built, I would like to have them built by the time we even consider going to war with them. Same with some airfields. I want some airfields that can hold about 2,000 planes at one time. I'm gonna get, honestly, a better field hospital for us. Actually, I do need to get a field hospital. We're gonna have the support equipment guy research that for us. But as I was saying, I do want those depots put in place before we even consider doing such a thing. So I'm gonna grab every single one of them, pull to the top, and yeah, it's gonna take a while to get 5 of them done, but once they're done, and we don't need to worry about them. Of course, that means we're gonna need more trains. I'm gonna upgrade the railroads as well, but at this point we should have enough trains in the stockpile to maintain 5 depots. Again, I'm doing this because France is a massive country, and once we get so deep in there, the supplies is gonna be so bad, it's not gonna be funny. So I'm gonna need depots to keep the army supply flow going in there. If you guys have any ideas on alternative ways how we can do this, because they're not gonna be done by the time this episode is done, so you guys will have plenty of time to put your comments in. But if you guys have any alternative ideas on how we can do this, that would be fantastic, because more than one head is always better than just one. So I would like some feedback on what you guys actually think in regards to the supply situation when it comes to France, because it's only a matter of time before we actually go to war with them. So we do need to consider that. But I need to take care of something, so I'm going to end the episode here and take care of what I need to take care of. You guys have a blessed night, and I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I do appreciate the support. We're up to 1,420 right now. That is fantastic. You guys have been awesome. God bless you guys. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, so I want to give you guys a proper thank you, and God bless. Have a blessed night.